We are learning the 34th Perek of Tehillim. This is L'Ilui Nishmas Sarah Lemdrach, which will also be in a chama for the entire family. And it's chus of our learning that should be the entire family should be received of many, many years of simcha. The 34th chapter, Lamed Daled, it begins with David B'Shanoso as Tama Lifnei Avimelech. It is to David who B'Shanoso's Tamo seems to be that he disguised his sanity, Lifnei Avimelech, by Yigoshehu, and he chased him out by Yelech. This is referring to the chapter of Shmuel Aleph, Perek Aleph, when David HaMelech is running away from Shaul HaMelech. He hides in the camp of the Pelishtim, and even though it's in Mepnei Achish. Achish is the Melech Gasi, is the Melech of the Pelishtim. All of the Pelishtim's kings are known as Avimelech. And it says that as he comes into this, Vayomru Avdei Achish Elav, and the servants of Achish say to him, Halo David Melech HaAretz, isn't this David, the Melech of the Aretz? Halo Lazeh Yanu B'Mechalos Leima, this is what they were singing in Israel. He Shaul Ba'alafo with David B'Ravoso. Isn't this is the David who was able, they say in Shaul, who killed thousands, and David tens of thousands. So David was concerned by Yasam David as a Devorma Ela Bilabavo. David knew full well that they were thinking of taking revenge on him for killing of Goliath. So what he did was Yishano was Tamo Be'enehem. So he changed his insanity. He looked as if he was an insane person, and he was able to finally they thought a little of him and they let him escape. Based on this coming out, David HaMelech writes as a Mizmor, LeDavid b'Shanosos Tam Lefnei HaMelech Vayigoshev Vayilach Avaracha Eis Hashem B'chol Eis. I will bless Hashem in every period of time. Tamid Tehilaso B'fi. I think we can have as an understanding, as an introduction to what David HaMelech had in mind here. Is an amazing statement. It is a statement about the tzidkus of David, and a very difficult concept for us to digest. The Orchas Tzadikim writes in the Shar HaSimcha that V'chein k'sheyela adam shum yisurim, when man has yisurim, and he has tests, has terrible tragedies which occur to him, yismach gamken, he should also be happy. V'chein amru chachamim chavivim yisurim, yisurim are wonderful for you. V'od amru chachamim kol hasamech b'yisurim, maybe Yeshua Olam, whoever is happy with the Yisurim which are thrown at him, maybe Yeshua brings salvation to the world. The Yargo Pivlomar, and he should always be quick to say Gam Zulatova. Gam, this is also for the good. Very difficult concept to understand. to be happy about it. How does one be happy with Yisurim? How can one be Chavivim Yisurim? What does he mean to say? So the answer, I believe, is to say very simply, is that if a person is an Eved Hashem, if he's a mammon, that everything in this world has a purpose, and that we're accomplishing the Ratzon Hashem, this is the Ratzon Hashem. The Ratzon Hashem is that I should have these particular Yisurim. This is the will of God. And that is the meaning of the Tzlach. It's an unbelievable Nod of Yehuda, based on a Gemara Psachim, which says in the pasuk, "V'hayo Hashem lemelech kol haaretz bayom hahu yeshen echad shmo echad." What does that mean? That one day he will be the king on all of the world, and on that day he will be a unified king. He'll be one king, u'shmo echad. Atu ha'ina lav echad. You're telling me today he's not unified? Amar Rabbi Chia, Amar Rabbi Acha Bar Chanina. Rabbi Acha Bar Chanina said, "Lo ki olam hazolam haba." Not like this world is the next world. Ha'olam hazel b'suros tovos omer baruch hatov ha'meitzu. In the next world, when something well happens, something good happens to us, we say Baruch Hatov Meitiv. The Absurus Ra'us on the Baruch Dynamis, and in this world also, if something tragic happens, a death in a family, death of a friend. We say Baruch Daina Emes whenever we hear tragic statements. The Olam Haba Kula Hatov HaMeitiv. In the future, we will always say Hatov HaMeitiv. The question which Tzlach says, of course in Olam Haba we're going to say Hatov HaMeitiv, because everything will also be Hatov HaMeitiv. There will be no reason to say Dayan Emes. The answer which Tzlach says is that in this world, what he means to say, in the present world, man does not understand the Ratzon Hashem, doesn't understand why things have to happen. We have to believe that this is the Ratzon Hashem and accept it as is. Once accepting it, we make a bracha, whether it's a Dayan Emes, Hatov HaMeitiv. In the future world, everything is going to be understood. Why there was tragedy in this world, everything will be in one piece, one long line of understanding. What the Kadosh Baruch Hu and why the Kadosh Baruch Hu did what he did. That's what it means in the future world will be Hatov HaMeitiv. David HaMelech's Mizmorim and Tehillim, as magnificent as it was, the Gemara says that the Nebuchadnezzar, his Tehillim was so magnificent, it even eclipsed that of David HaMelech. But for the fact that David HaMelech's Tehillim was written and was said not only in order for the brachas and everything that's all of the wonderful things that happened to David HaMelech, but he was also able to give bracha to Hashem and to give shevach v'hodot to Hashem, even at times of tragedy, even at times of something that would happen that was against his wishes, was something that was not for his benefit. And therefore, that is the pshat over here. Avrachacha, I will give you breath, I will give you blessings. B'choles, tamati lasabafi. Always it is in my mouth. B'Hashem tisahalel nafshi yishma'u anavim v'yismachu. The continuing is saying, Hashem does my soul glory, and humble ones, yishmu anavim v'yismachu, they should listen and should give and should be happy. There is a statement in the Shulchan Aruch which says, in the Aruch Hayim, Siman Reish Tes, Siman Daled, the Shulchan Aruch writes, the Efshar Levorech Birchas Hagomel Al Tovas Chavero, that someone has the right, has the ability to say a Birchas Hagomel for something which was for a benefit that occurred to somebody else, to a friend. Because of Ramah, and the Ramah writes on this, the Ein Zeh Bracha L'Ba'atala, it's not a Bracha L'Ba'atala, Afa Pi Shalom Neschai B'Bracha. Why? It's not a Bracha L'Ba'atala, because this is simply a Bracha of Shevach V'Hodah. And the Taz says that's provided that I also am a Sameach B'Libo, that I'm happy the fact that he received it. What is the Pshat? The Pshat is that if you really believe something is the Ratzon Hashem, if this is what Hashem wanted in this world to occur, he received this benefit, then I should be happy. This is the chesed that Kadosh Baruch Hu has given to the Olam. This is the chesed that Kadosh Baruch Hu gave to the world, and therefore I have the ability to say a Birchas Hagomel, to give such shevach, and therefore it says, Gadol Hashem iti neramamo shemo yachdav. Gadol Hashem, and there was that you can join with me uneramamo shemo yachdav, to give greatness, to give holiness to God. Dorashis Hashem va'anani. Goes on David HaMelech, Dorashis Hashem va'anani, umikol megurosai hitzilani. The Brisker Rav explains that on top of the fact that we have a chiyuv to give shevach v'hodah to Kadosh Baruch Hu when we receive something, we have a chiyuv to tell other people of what occurred. And that's what it means here. The Rashis Hashem va'anani. I was dorish him. I sought him out, and he answered me. Umikol megurusai hitzilani, from all my fears he saved me. And we tell other people, Habitu elav v'naharo. Look at him. Look at the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Ufeneihem ayachpara, and your face will not be ashamed. Ze'ani is David. I am this poor person. Karai called out to Hashem. Hashem Shamei, and God heard. Umikol Sorosav Hoshio, and all of the sorrows he saved us. Chona Malach Hashem Saviv Lireya Vayichalsei. The Malach is surrounding the individual to the Um, the Malach surrounded the individual. Chona Malach Hashem encamps around his reverent ones and releases them. What is the surrounding that we have? Someone who performs mitzvahs, someone who's constantly, the Gemara in Menachem tells us, someone who wears his tefillin shel rosh and tefillin shel yad, and is wearing his tzitzis and has a mezuzah on his door, so muchzak that nothing is harmful is going to happen to him. What does that mean? It means when a person is osek in Torah and mitzvahs constantly, then he has the ability, Chona Mal Hashem Sava, the real of a God who will always be shomer over him. Tamu Ru'u Kitov Hashem, Tamu Ru'u Kitov Hashem, taste and you will see how great Hashem is, Ashrei HaGever, Yechzabo, happy is the man who takes refuge in him. Yiros Hashem Kidoshav, those who are fearful of the Kadosh Baruch Hu, Ki ein mafsel l'rayav, they have nothing that they are losing. Kefirim rashav or however, those individuals, the Rishaim, those are people who are kofrim, Darshei Hashem lo yechzichato. Those, the Kefirim rashav or they're always hungry. There's never enough. But the Darshei Hashem lo yechzichato, they will never be lost. They will never. They will not have lost everything. They will. There is no deprivation for his reverent ones. What I think this means, you have to understand, is something else. Before we go to the next pasuk, there was a beautiful understanding from Rav Pelkowitz, who says the following: on Rosh Hashanah. Actually, on Yom Kippur, we begin with the various psukim and slichas that we take from the chait of the Meraglim. Why do we take from the chait of Meraglim? We really should have taken from the chait of the Egel. Why? Because the chait of the Egel, our slicha, was accepted. We asked for forgiveness from the Kadosh Baruch Hu and accepted. When it came to the forgiveness of the Meraglim, we didn't receive forgiveness. So why do we take it from there? The answer is, Lo yirah ki ato imadi. We have no fear because you are with me. If Rachmana litzlan, if anything should happen, the Kadosh Baruch Hu decides not to say yes to us, to say no, we realize that this is the Ratzon Hashem. All we ask is that the Kadosh Baruch Hu should be with us. That we shouldn't be alone. When we lose all of our strength, you should not leave us. We want to know at least that the Kadosh Baruch Hu was with us, and at the end of no matter what it would be, that we're never totally alone, the Kadosh Baruch Hu, that this is fulfilling the Ratzon Hashem. On top of that, I would add, when a person davens Shemona Esrei, by the time he's finished with all of the Atachoni Landam Das, and Ashivena V'Nitzor we go V'Yishleim Ircha, Ala Tzadikim, each of the paragraphs has a different thing that we ask for. And finally, we get to the end, we say Shema Kaleinu. Shema Kaleinu should have been the very first thing that we asked for. Why is it the last thing? Because once we've gone through all of our questions, once we've asked the Kadosh Baruch Hu over and over, and we started to prioritize what is important to us, we realize Shema Kaleinu. It's almost as if we're changing our minds and asking for something else. Here too, it's not that a person who doesn't have, because he's a Yiras Hashem and he's a Shomer Torah Mitzvahs, doesn't mean that everything in life is going to be given to him. Doesn't mean he's going to be a multi-millionaire. Doesn't mean he's going to be wealthy. It means he realizes what's important in life, and he realizes that he's not really missing much in life. When he doesn't have the fancy cars and the fancy kitchens or whatever it is, he's happy. He's satisfied with what God has given to him, and therefore he's not hungry. But the kafirim rashav or evo, they're always hungry. And when a person realizes he's accomplishing the Ratzon Hashem, he's never alone and realizes that the purpose of life. The pasuk then goes on. David says, "L'chuvanim shemuli yiras Hashem alamdechem." The lashon l'chuvanim is also important. On Rosh Hashanah we say after Tekiah Shofar, "Im kavanim im kavadim." Whether we are avadim or we are banim. Are we slaves or children? On Rosh Hashanah, that's what we look at ourselves. That's from the human perspective. As far as the Kadosh Baruch Hu is concerned, Banim atam Lashem, you are our children. L'chu banim shemali. L'chu banim shemali. Listen to me. Yiras Hashem lamedchem. I'll teach you what it means. Mi ha'isha chafetz chaim ohev yam l'rostos. Who is the man who loves life, who is searching? Ohev yamim, who desires life, who loves the days, the rostov to see good. Nitzar l'shoncha meira usvasecha midaber mirma. This is the famous pasuk of Lashon Hara. Nitzar l'shoncha meira. Guide your tongue from evil. Usvasecha, and your lips from uttering deceit. Why is Lashon Hara? Why is it brought down here? I think it fits in. Why does a person speak Lashon Hara about someone else? He's unsatisfied. He's jealous. The Kadosh Baruch Hu decides that this individual is entitled to his riches, is entitled to good health, he's entitled to whatever benefits that happens in this world when a person speaks Lashon Hara against them. In a sense, what you're saying is, I'm not makabel the Ratzon Hashem. So if you want to continue with the Ratzon Hashem, if this is the life, if you understand the real life, or the purpose of life, to accomplish the Ratzon Hashem, then you couldn't speak Lashon Hara. Surah Me'ra va'aseitov b'keshalom v'rodfeihu. In order for a person to do good, you have to surround yourself, or you have to remove yourself from the evil inclinations, you have to remove yourself from anything which stands in your way of accomplishing that which you want to accomplish in life. The pasuk in Megillah, which says, "V'nhafochu asher yishatu haYehudim heima b'sanehem," it was the opposite, that we were able to be sholet, we're able to overcome our enemies. The Sifrei Musar explained it's not only the enemies, we're talking about physical enemies, spiritual enemies. Everyone has something which stops them. If we can sur ma'ro, if you remove those enemies of our own spirituality, we're able to do good. V'aseitov. The Siva Shalom quite often says sur me'ra v'aseitov is two possibilities. One is sur me'ra, and then aseitov. Or it's possible aseitov. Do good deeds, keep learning, keep doing mitzvahs, keep teaching, keep being staka, keep doing chesed. And then after that, sur me'ra becomes a natural thing of removing the evil from our side. And now David HaMelech continues, he says, Einei Hashem el tzadikim. God's eyes are always to the tzadikim, bi'ozna vel shavasam, and he listens to our prayers. Pnei Hashem bi'osei ra, lahachris meres v'zichram. As far as the evil individuals in our world, Pnei Hashem bi'osei ra, those who do evil, utterly just remove them from the eretz zichram. The rationale being that these are individuals that have no future. Those are those who are unable to ever to be Balei Tshuva, and to remove them because they stopped the plan, they stopped the Kadosh Baruch Hu's Ratzon Hashem. Tzalkav Hashem Shameya, so when you cry out, Hashem listens. Umikol tzarasam etzilam, and from all of the tzaras He saved them. Karov Hashem l'nishbarei leiv, God is close to those who are somewhat broken, those who are arrogant. The Gemara says those who are haughty. Kadosh Baruch Hu cannot remain within their Daled Amas. V'esta'achei ruach yoshia. And the crushed spirits, they will save. Rabos ro'os tzaddik. There are many evils that beset the tzaddik. Umikulam yatzilenu Hashem, and all of them they are saved from Hashem. I very much understand this much more in light of the idea of Rabbi Pelkowitz. The fact that, of course, there are many evils that happen to a tzaddik, but it means Mekulam Yatzilenu Hashem, that if you really believe that it was the Ratzon Hashem, you're able to live with these Yisurim, and you feel as if they're being saved. Shomer Kol Atzmosav Achas Mehena Lo Nishbara. He guards all his bones, even those who are not broken, to Mosesh Rosh Ra'ah. And the death blow of the wicked is evil, V'sonei Tzaddik Yashamu. But finally, Poda Hashem Nefesh Avodov, that He redeems the Nefesh of His servants, V'lo Yeshmu Kol Chosim Bo, and does not, and all those who take refuge, V'lo Yeshmu, he does not be condemned. Yiratzon, that this learning of today and all of the prakim that we're learning should be a schus, the Shama of Sarah Lamdrach, and it should be a nechama for the Avelim, and Yiratzon, that the Lamb and the Drach families should only know simchas from now on.